Hi, Assalamualaikum. Welcome everyone. This is the second review video that I'm doing for this channel, and today we are looking at the Form 5 KSSM textbook for English. And for English, the title of the textbook, the name is given here. It is called English Download. This is the student's edition, the student's book. I haven't received the teacher's edition or even the grammar workbook or the model test book. But today we are going to have a look at the physical parts, the physical aspects of this book, and also a little bit into the content of the textbook. First and foremost, we'll have a look at the cover. It's a glossy cover. And then it has this QR code here where you can scan and you will be directed to the website of the publisher. And that being said, the publisher of this book is Hamilton House English Language Teaching. The authors are Elizabeth Gordon, Liz Hammond, Philip James, and Liz Stolz. At the back, we have a little bit of a description here. It says the key features are theme-related units, each containing carefully designed tasks to develop students' reading, listening, speaking, and writing skills, the 4 skills that are important, as well as build on their vocabulary and grammar. That's good. The second one is reload sections, one at the end of each unit to reinforce vocabulary and grammar presented. Wow, this is also important for teachers because we tend to go through the sections without giving reinforcement to students, reinforcement exercises, and in this book it is already prepared for you. Progress reviews, one after every 2 units to further consolidate the vocabulary and grammar. Again, more stress on vocabulary grammar despite having all the 4 sections in each of the 12 units that we have. And then last one is a grammar reference to support the grammar theory presented in each unit. I guess this will be some sort of notes for students. And then we have a writing bank and a speaking bank to support students' productive skills. Alright. Over here we have the ISBN number, and the price written here is $29.90. Just as comparison, I'm going to show you how it compares to Full Blast for Form 4. Okay, it's a bit smaller, alright, and I think the number of pages is the same because it follows the requirements set by the ministry. Let's have a look. Altogether, it totals up to 191, and for Full Blast, we have 191, exactly the same number of pages. So we'll put this aside first. Let's have a look, just go through. This is what I feel with this book. It has the same cheerful color scheme. It's full colored, by the way. The printing is full colored. This is the first unit, first 3 pages of the unit. Towards the middle part becomes clearer and less color. Only some of the pictures have colors, which to me it gives the feel of more clear-cut, organized, and also a bit formal, I guess, as compared to Full Blast, because Full Blast will be busier with pictures even though it's in the middle of the section, and the font is different. It has more color. See, even this is in blue. Pictures are way huge. So I guess this means to say that this book is more formal in a way, and it makes it easier for us to access all the exercises, all the notes that we have here. The font, I think, is synchronized throughout the whole book, which in a way is good. Shows some serious feels for Form 5 students, although we still want them to have fun, and I think that part is included in the topics of the units that we have, the themes here. So in a way, this is also a good textbook for Form 5, especially because they are going to sit for their SPM. Still, at the same time, it's not too boring. I like how it is bigger. I think that contributes to less busy arrangement of the layout. So there we have it, the physical features of the textbook. Now we know that it is, for one, bigger than a full blast, which allows more content, more better arrangement for the content of the book itself. And then we also have a more clean, polished, if I may say, and also organized feel to the book and the content itself, which makes it suitable for Form 5 as compared to full blast. Why is it suitable for Form 5? Because it's as if it means business, and although we want them to have fun, like I said, we have that in other aspects of the book. What I like the most is it is easier to navigate through the content of the pages, let's say for exercises and also explanations, the input that they are giving itself. Which makes English Download a suitable book for Form 5 on the whole. Now, let's have a look at the content. A part actually of the content that I have prepared, I've scanned it for you so we can see a close-up of one of the Unit 2 from the textbook. Alright, let's not waste time. We'll move on to the second part of the video. We'll have a look at the content, and also I'm going to show you a close-up of Unit 2. Before we go on, I would like to bring your attention to the content of the book itself, the whole thing that we have. So altogether, as you can see, we have 12 units. We also have grammar reference, irregular verbs, writing bank, and speaking information at the back of the book, at the very end. So please make sure that you don't leave this part out. We can always go there whenever we are going through the units, and most of the contents are synchronized. There are notes for each unit, especially for grammar. If you can see on the bottom right side of the page, over here, the second page of the content, you can see there's a QR code there. As of the time this video was made, the content was not fully utilized yet. So maybe when we are in school next year, we can already access all the materials that they have given there. We will now zoom in to look at the content of each of the units that we have here. I'll zoom in the camera for you. Let's have a look at the first to 6th unit first. Alright, so the first unit is it's personal. We have reading, vocabulary, grammar. We also have listening part and speaking part on the side there. Okay, let me just bring you to the view there. I'll pen the view for you. As you can see, this is the listening and speaking and writing part. We have everything in place for all the chapters. We have all these parts working together, and they seem to give so much attention to vocabulary and grammar. I am very much interested in what they offer for writing. Okay, let's see. For Unit 1 here, what we have is email. So for email, they will be trained to read the task carefully and use topic sentences and linking words. See how they focus on the parts of writing that they wanted to teach in each unit. The second part, they focuses on story, and The book trains the student to write sentences, making it lifelike. We'll see later in Unit 2. And using the senses to bring your story to life. This is a good way to train students to write stories because usually they don't have ideas on what to write when they are describing something, when in fact it's really easy to describe. Just carefully think of how to use the five senses and, being imaginative, putting yourself in that situation and what would you see, what would you feel, what would you smell, and so on and so forth. Other than that, we also have another part of essay. This is generally talking about essay. And in Unit 3, it's more towards planning part. So you think before you write and including a contrasting idea. That's the aim of the lesson here. For Unit 4, we have article writing, getting your reader's attention, writing a good introduction, if I'm not mistaken, and making comparisons to help explain your opinion. It's very important to go through all this during lessons because on the page itself, it's very wholesome. You have the word banks, the suggestions of phrases to be used for example, over here is to explain your opinion. So students will be trained according to topic, and they will be assisted with materials in the book itself. So you do not need to go and get other materials. If you want to, yes, you can. Different levels require different kinds of assistance from the teacher. But in my opinion, it's already there. Everything is there. And as you can see, the next part also has essays in it, generally talking about essays. This one talks about introduction in Unit 5, how to explain and support your ideas. Other than that, over here is writing conclusions and avoiding exaggerated statements, which is also important if you're writing an essay to make your essay more believable and have a conviction. All right. What else do we have at the bottom part? What else? Okay, let's see. This is the next sixth part for writing. We have report in Unit 7. For report, they will be trained to write sentences, to make suggestions, and also to justify suggestions by describing the results. We have the format for formal letter. We also have review. We have another exercise for article, and then the last one is letter. Please bear in mind that all these formats will be available in the last section of the book. It will be available. You can find the format in the writing bank section of this book, whereby all the formats will be given in one whole page for each formats. There are 7 altogether. So you can just refer to the back of the book to get students to start writing once they've got a grasp of the idea that you had in your lesson. So for each unit, there will be a sample at the back. Same goes to the grammar part. The notes will be readily available here on page 161 to 177. Why don't we take a peek at what we have so you have a clearer idea in each and every one of the units. So this is the first page of Unit 2. As you can see there's a great background photo, and then it goes down to the first part of the writing task, I believe. Let's see. This is what we can see from the first page of Unit 2. We've already started with an exercise or a practice to give an idea of what is going to be discussed in the whole topic itself. And notice that the font used in this unit, in this textbook, the whole textbook actually, is more formal. It's like they use the sans type of font as compared to Full Blast, which has more playful and more hip, I would say, type of fonts. But we don't have that in our English download. At the bottom part here, as you can see, there's a little sentence, a logo that says DVD 2, watch this short video about Bermuda Triangle and which 3 places does the triangle connect. I hope this will be available in a separate CD so that we can show our students what we have from the textbook, and it's going to be really interesting, I presume. Let's go to the next page. This is the second page, starting off with the reading practice for this chapter. After reading the task beforehand, they will have to do some exercises, as we can see. There you go. This is one of the articles included. I don't think it's really that difficult for our students to read and understand. It could be interesting for them as well. We'll go to the next page to see what kind of exercise that we have. As you can see, the pages still has quite some colors still, and now it has halved to only this part on the left hand side, and the right hand side is white, which makes the exercise clearer. In my opinion, that's not a problem at all, not having full color for all the pages. And the exercises is not much different from Full Blast, which gives a hint of what our SPM questions would be like. And this page, as you can see, would be more white and has less color. We are now into the vocabulary part of the textbook. Filling in the blanks. And then this one introduces the words. And there are also objective questions, multiple choice questions, only 2 choices there. And we go straight to grammar practice. According to topic, this one over here is looking at past simple and past continuous tenses. There's a reminder in the pink box there, as you can see. I thought there was none. Now we know that we have a reminder here. So I guess for all the grammar parts, they will give you a reminder to go and read the notes at the back of the book from page 161, if I'm not mistaken just now, until 180, which is good. And we go on the bottom part. Let's have a look at the next page. What do we have? More vocabulary practices. One thing I noticed about this book is they give much emphasis on speaking, vocabulary, and also grammar. Production of language, basically. They also give an adequate amount of reading practice and input. I am not able to access the listening materials yet, but exercises like this can help our students. You see, for example, we have commonly confused words. This is a good practice, so they can differentiate the usage of odd and rare, strength and power, last and latest, which, to be honest, also sometimes confuses adults. So it's a good practice to start early. And still, we have exercises on collocations and expressions that we can use in real life, which is really, really good and applicable once they leave school in their daily life. Okay, and now still at grammar practice. Explanation and more exercises to enforce their understanding. Really, this book is, to me, an excellent way to teach. It has
everything in it. And to be honest, I did not really use the previous textbook, but I'm really excited to use this one, just as how I've used Full Blast in my classes, even though Full Blast was a bit far-fetched in terms of the content, as we try to relate to our students, but they get global grasp of content, not only from Malaysia, which is also good. This is the listening part. Still a good amount of color for each page. Over here is more white. This is what I was talking about. We have a good page of speaking exercises here. Also enough amount of guidance for them. And I expect to see questions for SPM in this kind of visuals for them to refer to. Graphic organizers, and then they give you prompts like this. And at the bottom there, you can see that there's a language bank. So students can use the language bank to start their sentence, which is a common problem with students. They don't know how to start, they don't know how to do something. So as teachers, you can have them read this first and practice using the suggested phrases that we have. And now we go on to writing. How to make a story lifelike. It's like a step-by-step guide for writing. If it's a creative writing part, then it would guide you one by one. You would know what to do, what kind of sentences to construct, kind of words to use. At the same time, it's as if they are teaching grammar and vocabulary as well, embedded in a writing lesson, which is good again. See, exercise number 2 here has exercises on adjectives, also adds to their vocabulary aside from grammar, and still discussion to write their story according to what is required in SPM, the word limit given here. And just as how Full Blast is designed to be, we also have the same thing here in English Download, samples for writing for them to refer to, and then they will dissect the given sample answer. It's not there in vain, as in only to be used as a reference to writing. It is also for comprehension, for further understanding of the mechanics of writing, I believe. Questions like question number 1 and 2 here, and question number 3 would give a good idea on how to write. Before this, students needed to refer to a reference book or the internet for them to get a better idea at writing an essay. But now no more. We don't have that problem with this textbook. As we can see here, before they start writing, they will be given a thorough guide on how to go through. And imagine if we have enough time, especially with the weaker students, we would be able to get them to understand what to write and how to write, and it would be no problem at all until they have the decent amount of vocabulary to start writing. And this is good for both weaker students and also the more proficient one, because the more proficient one will be independent and they would be able to explore more and not restricted to follow whatever that is given, as the words given are mere suggestions, and it would greatly help the weaker students. The language bank, as you can see over here, feelings, senses, ways of speaking and thinking, and guides from exercise number 5 to 6 and 7. All this to help our students with their tasks, and it would be easier for us to walk them through the exercises in the textbook as well. And eventually it would come to a very great conclusion whereby our students will have a thorough understanding on what to do with the 4 skills that they are learning. At the same time, they would be able to answer SPM questions very well. This is the reload section as advertised at the back of the book. Let's have a closer look, shall we? So they both have a grammar and vocabulary section. Easy questions, multiple choice, not to say easy, but not complicated in terms of answering, no filling in the blanks and whatnot. This can be a good closing to our lesson to get the students to recap, especially once you finish the whole unit, the whole chapter. And we have progress review, which comes after every 2 units. So we have altogether 6 progress review in the whole textbook. We'll be looking at grammar, vocabulary, and more vocabulary, which is good, so that it enriches and widens the collection of vocabulary for our students. Usually they would have problems with that, not knowing what to say because they don't know what the translation is in English. So that's quite a problem. This is also another page of progress review, and you kind of get the idea, and this would be the last page of a preview to the textbook that I have today.
And we have at the back, as promised, as written at the back of the book, we have the grammar reference. I think that means the notes for all the grammar parts in each unit. 2, Unit 5, 4, yes, everything. So it's complete. Teachers, you can refer to the back of the textbook to look at grammar notes, irregular verbs. This in itself can be an activity for the teachers, either as a plus point, or maybe an reinforcement to whatever you've been teaching. It could be a refresher, a game for teachers to use in between lessons or in between exercises. We have Writing Bank. Writing Bank has all the 4 formats: informal letter or email, formal letter or email, article, essay, story, review, and report. And I think those are the 7, I think was it 7 or 9? 7 formats included in SPM 2021. We also have Speaking Bank, phrases to help students speak according to what they intend to say, sequencing your ideas, contrasting advantages and disadvantages, justifying your opinion, agreeing, disagree, and so on and so forth. And then we also have speaking information. Just now, yeah, Speaking Bank, this one is speaking information. This, I think, will help students with their speaking paper for SPM. It is really helpful in that sense, and we'll have a closer look in the next part of the video, but I think they provided enough practice and exercise for all the units that they have. Good enrichment in terms of vocabulary for the students. They have this reload section for every unit to reinforce grammar and vocabulary. And then for writing, it's the same as Full Blast. They have plan for all the essays that they introduce, and what I like so far, I've gone through the formats, the writing sections for all the units. They have, if they were to introduce a format, they would focus on the format and the mechanics of writing an email or a story. But when it's a general essay, they would the book will guide your students to how to enhance your writing in terms of introduction and conclusion, and how to write a better body paragraphs. And this, I think, is really suitable, and it's focusing on exam itself.
I hope you'll get your copy soon. I borrowed mine from my SPBT, so hopefully we're all excited to use this one. Yeah, so we have all the 4 skills in this given book here. Very important for language, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. We also have the review, progress review. We have the notes and great guides like word bank and the plan to write essays, the format at the end, everything. So the content, I think, is perfect for Form 5 students.
I don't think I'll have more problems of students asking me if I were to go through textbooks, then what's the point if the exam questions are going to be different, because I'm sure this is somehow going to guide us to bring us to the actual format for SPM. From the look of it, I think I really like this textbook, and it's going to help our students learn better. So that's it. That's the review. That's the first look that you had from me. And I've compared it to Full Blast. I like both. I like the playfulness in Full Blast. Even the cover says that. And the cover for English download is different. It's much more formal. And this is hopefully going to be really exciting for the students in terms of the topics. I'm sure it's more relatable to our Malaysian settings, and also what's more important is it's going to guide our students to prepare them for the actual SPM 2021. Don't forget to use all the resources given, because I'm sure it will be really helpful, as I mentioned just now. And I hope to see your comments. Maybe you can share with us how you use the textbook, how you plan to use the textbook, or if you're watching this later on, how you are using the textbook to teach your students and get your students involved and love English. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.
I hope the review was helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing. See you next time. Assalamualaikum.